Hello, grade 8. This is our first video. We're gonna start with the story, The Telltale Heart. But first, let's talk a little bit about the short story, which is the genre. Okay, now all short stories contain certain elements, plot, character, setting, dialogue, and narrative. And we're gonna explain in detail the suspense and the narrator in particular. So the suspense. Let's start with this quotation. There's no terror in the bag, only in the anticipation of it. Okay, so the suspense, the uncertainty or anxiety a reader feels about what will happen next in the story. There must be an unknown, suspicion, a mystery, a danger we expect. The word suspense is related to the word suspended. When a story keeps us in the suspense, we feel almost as if we were suspended in midair. Okay, so we may even hold our breath without realizing it as we read. Sorry, as we read and eagerly to find out how the story ends. And like sometimes we deepened our suspense, like through dreams, what can happen, nightmares of the characters, fears, flashbacks of a haunted past, and sometimes by ideas, the letters, journals, pictures, evidence, items, etc. And sometimes the suspense lies in time and the weather in the story, the night, the thunderstorms, blizzards, cold. And we have sometimes senses, like the senses in the story make suspense, like smell of blood, taste of fear, sometimes dusty houses, sound of scrubbing dark or vivid colors, etc. And sometimes the writer deepens the suspense of the reader through main elements. Now we have like four main elements of the suspense. We're gonna just count them without explain in detail. So the first one is foreshadowing. The foreshadowing is when the writer gives clues, sometimes even false clues, that hint at what will happen later in the story. And we have the second one, the dilemma. A character, especially when we care about, is in a great problem or must choose between two dangerous courses of action. And the third one, reversal. The reversal in the situation suddenly changes from good to bad or vice versa. A sudden shift in the plot direction. Suspense makes you stay on your toes. You never know what will happen. This is the suspense. Like, when you think about suspense, okay, uh, what makes your suspense intensify? What makes it intensify? Okay, so this is a suspense. Now let's move to the narrator. The narrator is the teller or the one who tells the story. Sometimes we have two types, no, three types, but one of them is used in the scientific articles, which is the second person. Like it's more used in the scientific articles, not in short stories. Okay, so types of narrator. The narrator is the person that writer uses to tell the story, to tell the story. Different narrators have different effects. We will look at first person narrator, third person narrator, and an omniscient narrator. Omniscient narrator means the one with the unlimited point of view. It means the reliable one. Okay, so the first person narrator. This is when the story is told from narrator's point of view, like his or her own point of view. And she or he doesn't share other characters' point of view with us. So sometimes, or most of the time, the first person narrator is unreliable. So we can't rely on his or her point of view because most of the time the first person narrator is unreliable because he or she tells only her point of view. For example, I walked down the hall and knocked on the door. So the example shows like the pronoun that the first person narrator uses. It uses the pronouns I, we, no, I, yeah, we, uh, la, that's all. I and we. This is useful if you wanna read the understand and to understand. Uh, you want the reader to understand what the character is thinking. Sometimes, no, in the first person narrator, no, we can't say that. But most of the time, it's unreliable. But sometimes it could be reliable. It's okay, there's no problem. The last one, third person narrator, this is when the story is told from an onlooker's point of view. It's not happening to them. Example, like it's a character outside the story, but the first person narrator is a character inside the story. But the third person narrator is a character outside the story. So, like example, she walked down the hall and knocked on the door. So it uses the pronouns she, he, they, and stuff. So it talks about another one, okay? It's less biased than first person narrator. Yeah, narration. Yeah, that's correct. Most of the time, the third person narrator is omniscient, it's reliable, it's unlimited, the point of view. We don't know what the character is feeling. Now, this is the introduction to the Telltale Heart, and I hope you enjoy it, guys. And next video is gonna be like really enjoyable. Next, see you.